Welcome back to the Ancient Ruins. Today is a little bit of a changeover while we're waiting for another game to come through that we can spend our time playing for you lovely little cultists. We're having a look at something a little bit different. Now, this channel is basically a tabletop gaming channel where we play board games, we have a look at whether we like them, and we have some fun along the way. However, I am a big tabletop role-playing gamer as well, cutting my teeth very early on with the red box Dungeons and Dragons all the way back whenever I started a long time ago. But I have a small collection. This is only some of the books that I own for Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know where the rest are. They get lent out because I want people to understand the joy of role-playing games, and Dungeons and Dragons is basically the most well-known, even though there is another one coming out later this year, maybe next month, that might eventually take over it, and that is, of course, Daggerheart. I think it's Daggerheart, by Critical Role, and the team behind them. Now, two of the lead designers, this is an aside, this is nothing to do with what we're talking about. Two of the lead designers that I really like have moved from Wizards of the Coast, who do Dungeons and Dragons, to Daggerheart. So obviously I have pre-ordered that, but it's unlikely we'll see it specifically on this channel. However, there may be spin-off channels coming up if you want to see some of that, because I'm very excited for it. The problem with Dungeons and Dragons is it is wish fulfillment and broken, kind of. Don't get me wrong, I've been playing with the same crew now for many years. I think we got together in COVID, the first lockdown, and we've been playing every Sunday that we can ever since. Yeah, we know what it is. We know it's dumb. We're dumb, and we like to do dumb things. However, as soon as you get past a certain level in Dungeons and Dragons, the game is just wish fulfillment. You're a superhero. You can do what you want, and that's good. But sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a change. I'm going to mention a couple of books along the way until we get to the reason that we're here today, that you might have seen the thumbnail, and you've probably seen all over Facebook as well. That's where I first saw it. So, along the way of playing Dungeons and Dragons, I have dabbled in other books. We've got Mothership. Mothership is a beautiful game. It is basically every horror movie you've ever seen, the role-playing game. So any space-themed horror movie or psychological movie or thriller, Mothership is that. And it's fantastic, and the world is fantastic, and the rules are fantastic. The problem is, and it's more of a me problem than the game problem, you need a group of people who will take it seriously and play it for the horror game that it is. It's not me. It's not my group. Unfortunately, we're just not wired that way. We like fun, we like to be silly, and we're daft. And there's probably quite a few of you out there straight away going, well, I wouldn't allow you at my table if you're just going to be silly. And that's fine. Everyone plays Dungeons and Dragons in different ways, to the point where, and again, I've said Dungeons and Dragons eponymously with just any role-playing game. Everybody plays role-playing games in different ways. I grew up watching Acquisitions Incorporated rather than Critical Role. So if you know the two channels that I'm talking about, Critical Role and Acquisitions Incorporated, I watched a little bit of Critical Role, and this is not an insult towards Critical Role at all. I love the cartoon that they've done recently that I've completely slipped my mind. I'm getting Daggerheart. I think you're all amazing. They're all amazing, but it's not what I like. I like silly. I like daft, I like grandiose, and I like to have fun. So, there began the quite short-lived mission of trying to find a fun game that was more suited to our playstyle, that wasn't just Dungeons and Dragons, that had a different rule set so we could have a little of a dabble. And I'll be honest, that was a little bit more rock and roll. Okay, that was kind of what we were looking for, or what I was looking for in the Hoax play. Mothership, just look at it, that could have been rock and roll, it could have been what we were after, but unfortunately, we're just not we're just not serious enough for it, which is a shame because it could be good. Hopefully there might be some daft ones that we could try out, but for the time being we are moving swiftly on from Mothership, and we're going to the next one that I purchased. Oh, Discworld. This is the classic. Discworld from 19 something, and this edition is published in 2002. It is a GURPS role-playing game, and I love Discworld. I have read all 41 books that are contained in the Discworld ones. I know there are a few other ones. There's a few children books by Terry Pratchett, but I have read all 41 Discworld books, mainly the Witches and the City Watch series, so many times now that I know the lore of the Discworld quite well. So for me, the Discworld, look at death, would be the rock and roll game that I could get into, and it is the right level of silly. It's intelligent humour, which I'm not intelligent, but I do like daft. Would have been brilliant, except my group have never read Discworld. So the problem then becomes, well, I know things. I know, ooh, that's a reference to Piss Harry, and they'll just be looking at me like you're an idiot. So we had to move swiftly on from Discworld, which is a shame. One day I will find the group. This is not a plug for anyone in my local area to get in contact if they want to start role-playing. The next up was, oh goodness, Slug Blaster. Now, the reason we got Slug Blaster is I had this idea that if you've ever heard of Dungeon Crawler Call, Slug Blaster would have been the way that we could have built a perfect role-playing game that wasn't too heavy on combat and more on just stupidity and nonsense around Slug Blaster, kickflip over a quantum centipede. And I think that's the thing. It was just, and it is good, but it was too heavily focused on things that we just weren't interested in. And we're getting to the reason, we're getting to the thumbnail, don't worry. So Slug Blaster was not it. And we were still looking for this rock and roll way of just being over the top, turning it up to a level and just rocking out while we played the game. And all of our prayers were answered with Gods of Metal and Ragnarok. My God, it comes with a soundtrack. Our first sit down, our first playthrough after episode or session 0, we had the soundtrack, and the choral majesty was behind me as I roared through the introduction. As we went through the beginning, as you go into this world that you end up creating, and it was glorious. It was everything we had wanted and more, and then the more that we played it, the more we realized that it's fundamentally broken. And I don't mean just in a gameplay standard. The game is trash. The book itself has formatting issues, so some of the information that they put in, some of the literal paragraphs, and this is published. This has gone to people. I have it. The information is behind pictures. So you can't read the rules. So you have to make it up. And if I'm going to make it up, I might as well just make it up from scratch. An amazing concept that just... we might touch upon it again later when we've got a little bit more free time. Make the channel work. More free time. More good stuff for you. And just sadly, it was not Brutal Legend, the role-playing game, which I had so much hope for. Which brings us to the reason we are here today. Now, I want to talk about this one because of the simple reason This has been everywhere. This is all over Facebook. So you probably have seen this advertised. I don't know whether they're going through an advertising campaign. This isn't an advert. I have not been paid to do this. I bought this book with my own money. I paid more than I should have done for it because I bought it directly from them, not realizing it was actually much cheaper on Amazon. That's fine. I sat down and I read the book. It is very thin. This is a one-shot. Okay, you play it once. It is not built for you to build a campaign around. So this is a complete package already. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, eat a pineapple. Fantastic. Sometimes you just want someone to go, here's the story, have fun. This is that. This has one of the greatest mechanics in that I have seen in any of the role-playing games I have ever seen. One of the mechanics that I've been shying away from speaking about in the little preamble that got us to here, of course, it is Eat The Reich. And apparently, according to Google, that's how you pronounce that, Reich. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. It's a spin-off of Eat The Rich, and I'll give you the briefest of overviews of what this game is about. If you are not instantly just taken into it, listen a little bit longer, because I'm going to tell you how it begins, and then I'm going to tell you what my favourite, I think the favourite mechanic in any role-playing game that I've ever played is in this. Yeah. So, here's the setting. You are and I might get some of the words wrong, but I'm basically right. You are a crack squad of vampires on a mission to drop down into 1943 France to drink Hitler's blood. That's it. That is the idea of it. I didn't need to know any more. When I saw, I think the tagline was the most rock and roll role-playing game you'll ever play. I'm in. Okay, I'm already giving them my money because I want that. This is what I'm throwing trust at people to deliver that to me. So far, no good until now. Then it's explained that you are the squad of vampire commandos that you're dropping into Paris in 1943 to drink Hitler's blood, and I'm just like, I can't click quick enough to buy this, and I recommend that you do as well. Okay, it's I think I paid 25. If you want to support the developers, go to the website and buy it. Otherwise, just get it from Amazon for 20 quid. It's 20 quid. It's, again, this isn't an ad. Who are the publishers? I don't know. There's a weird little castle symbol. I'm not even embarrassed that I don't know who the publishers are because this isn't an advert. So, Sodom. No idea. But if they want to pay me. Now, Vampires, 1943 France. There's a map inside. We're not going to go through too much detail. And you just work your way through. You are vampires. You've got set characters. Yes. So there is none of this character creation things, which is fantastic when you're heading into a long-winded campaign. It's a nonsense when you're doing a one-shot. I love the idea of here's your character. Here is you. You go and play this character, and they've done it in such a way where it is male or female. It's non-binary. You can choose. You can make the difference. You can play it the way that you want to do. However, this is the outline. This is what we're going to do. And one of the nice little touches, one of the things that they've done in here is they have added a character for people who don't play role-playing games that much. So in here, I'm quickly just going through now, I'll see if I can pop it up on screen as well, is Flint. So Flint is basically a man-bat. Either you're seeing it in my hands or it's on the screen right now. And one of the things that they do say in the setup is that the man-bat may or may not be able to talk. So they've kind of put this one character in for people who might not play role-playing games that much and aren't comfortable role-playing. So they can just go, oh, well, my guy's going to go and do this. My guy's going to go do that. Basically, he's a big dumb dog, and it's amazing. So if you're not already in, let me just tell you how the game begins. You enter into you're in your plane with the DM. So the DM is the agent who's sending you off onto the mission to go drink Hitler's blood. You're in your plane. To begin, you get in your drop coffins. You heard me right. Drop coffins again, hopefully on screen, and you are dropped into Paris, France, where you are instantly killed. That's right. You're dead. You are obliterated. And then the drop coffin safety protocol begins, and it sprays nun's blood into the drop coffin, and you come back to life and begin your mission. Now, that's fantastic. And if you're not in now, go away. Where's your joy? But let's talk about the reason that I wanted to bring this up. I'm not going to spoil the story itself. I'm not going to go through the book itself and all the lovely hints and tips and surprises that are within, because if you are a forever DM, I am Dungeon Daddy. If you are forever DM, you're going to want to read this and you're not going to want it spoiled. Okay? You are going to read bits and you're going to go, no. And then you're going to read a little bit later and go, no. And then you're going to read a little bit later and go, oh, they did. And everything's going to be beautiful. But the one thing that I will spoil, because I think everyone needs to just be aware that in this book, and it's so good, they have a mechanic where you die. Okay, and this is one of the things that happens in all of these lovely little role-playing games. You can die, and most of them have a way to prevent you from dying. So death rolls are the most obvious, and yeah, it's fine. You're downed, but you might not be out. Okay, Mothership's a little bit different because you're intended to die. It isn't a if, it's a when. So that's a little bit different, but every other one has a mechanic to kind of save you so you're not out of the game. Not Eat the Reich. So if you die, you're going to, maybe. If you do die, it has something called the last stand. Already, there's a couple of you out there going, I'm in. Tell me more, but I'm in. The last stand, just for an example, I'm not going to put it on the screen exactly what it is. I'll just put a picture. For example, the last stand for this character is you roll 8d6 because you are rigged to blow. Okay? Your quest is to die in battle, in glorious battle, as this character. So your quest is to die in glorious battle, and if you die, there is no instant death. You have your final last stand, your glorious last stand, where you get to roll 8d6, and using the kind of keywords of rigged to blow, each character's got their own, but this one specifically is just so good and so tasty. Then you get to decide what happens. So you roll your 8d6. Now normally throughout the game it is a d6 game. You roll maybe 2, 3, at a push 3d6 and work from that. You roll 8d6 and you explain in glorious detail how you die. That's amazing. I don't want to, because I've done it so much, and I just want to introduce people to this. If I ever get the joy, the utmost joy, because it is one of the greatest things in the world, in my opinion, of introducing people to role-playing games, this is going to be how I do it, because I want them to die. I want them to get attached to the character and maybe get close to succeeding and then die. I want them to understand that that's okay, that's part of the story. It doesn't have to be a you win every time. And I want them to die and then be happy about it. I want every character to get their character sheet and go, what does last stand mean? And then I want to plant in their little tiny noodles exactly what it means. I want to say to them, well, if you die, you get to do this. You get to have a glorious death. Perhaps saving everybody else. Perhaps it will win the game for everybody but you, and you yourself will be remembered for your glorious last stand. I want that to be the joy that someone walks away from this book with. And I think after all the fails, and these are not all the book, all the fails, this is the one. So, would I recommend it? Yes, I would. Go and get it. Don't even think about it. If you are a board gamer, I know exactly what you're like with money. You're as bad as I am. It's 20 quid from Amazon or $20 pounds. If you want to support the people who made it, Google it. It's Eat The Reich. They are amazing artists. The artwork, you might have seen some of it throughout the video, dependent on whether the tech has worked and whether this goes out. Who knows? Go and get it. Don't even think about it. If you like role-playing games, go buy it. If you've never played a role-playing game and you've always wanted to get into it, but the entry point, the price to get into role-playing games is ridiculous. You are looking, if you want, so Dungeons and Dragons, let's just stay with the most popular one. Dungeons and Dragons, you'd need the Dungeon Master, well, you don't need Dungeon Master's Guide, Player Handbook, Monster Guide, and perhaps a campaign book as well, and they're £30 to £40, so let's go on the high end. You're looking at about £160 just to get what you need to begin Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, 20 quid, go get it. If you are a board gamer, yeah, just a board gamer who likes to be around your friends doing fun things, get it. I don't know who, well, I do know who wouldn't want this, but they don't exist in our world. Okay? If you're watching this video, you probably want this book because, my God, the amount of joy, potential joy that is stored within these pages, I have not seen in a long, long time. Little bit of a caveat just before we finish the video. Yes, it is set in 1943. It is going to be dancing around some sensitive subject matter. It mentions this in the book as well, that we will be dancing around some very sensitive subject matter, so be very careful with that. I run it as we don't do racism, we don't do homophobia, we don't do anything that existed within the real world. This doesn't mean that you have to, it just means that I don't. So we don't touch upon any of that sensitive matter, we create our own prejudice. So we play, because we are vampires versus the Nazis, we play that they are super racist to vampires. Yeah? So we come up with our own slang, bloodsuckers, suckers, pointy teeth, whatever. You can build your own thing, but just keep in mind, because it could be sensitive, it could be body horror, there could be a little bit of chance to go down the wrong route. But as long as you set the standards before you start the game, everybody should have a good time. This book is exceedingly good at having that conversation with you, the Dungeon Daddy, before you play it as well. But do keep in mind that because it is set in a very, very turbulent time, and no way undermining what happened there, this is meant to be an action movie, so keep that in mind, play it that way, and you're going to have a good time. If you'd like to see this on the channel, let me know. It is going to be tricky because the guys who I play board games with probably don't want to play this, but we'll see if we can find some people in the local area who want to have a go for you. If you are going to buy this, please do leave a comment down below. I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to let me know that you are going to go buy this because it looks interesting. And then if you have had a good time, I want you to come back and I want you to let me know how the best death was. Okay? That's your homework. And also, we have, as I say, I'm looking at the new tech now. We've gone out of our way and we've changed some things. It's weird, it's nice. Let me know if you have noticed any difference. Let me know if there's any issues, because we're going to see what it looks like and we might move forward with this. Okay, other than that, You're amazing. I'm amazing. This has been Cult of the Meeple, the Ancient Ruins. Until next time we convene. Bye for now.